What up, YouTube? I'm going to be doing the CV axle on my 05 Hyundai Tiburon GT V6 Delta. So I'm going to replace the driver's side and the passenger side. Mine's has no ABS, so I have a check engine light, not check engine light, but like a turbo code, because I have the P0501. It's for like the performance speed range, so I can't race anybody. Besides racing the codes, like every time I go race. But yeah, because the toe rings on these are different. On the I replaced two sensors. I already replaced two CV axles, one from Rock Auto, one from Napa. It killed the car for me, so one of the Hyundai technicians told me to get original because the toe rings are it's factory, because the aftermarket are sometimes shorter, taller, wider toe rings, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, we're going to start. The only thing you need is a jack stand, a jack, grease for the CV axles so you won't seize up on the hub. I'm pretty sure it's a 32 millimeter nut to take off the CV axles, and I just got some tools with me, so let's start it. I'm gonna start to jack up the car. It's if you have a factory lug nuts, it's 21 millimeter. I'm gonna be using my guns, so it'll be a little faster and easier to do. So yeah. Alright guys, my car was too low for the car jack, so I just put these old rotors on that. So I got the jack underneath it. I put the jack stand right there to the frame. So if you got the stock wheels and lug nuts, it's 21 millimeter, so I gotta take these off. If you don't have a electric gun, impact gun, whatever, it's better to loosen up on the floor, loosen them up, pull it out. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. So all right, when you take off the wheel, put it there, or you can put it underneath the car. It doesn't really matter. So if you don't have the electric impact or impact gun, it'd be easier if you take a, so you grab your wheel, you punch that center cap off, put the wheel back on, put on the just pull two lug nuts on, put on the ground, and use a breaker bar and break that off with a 32 millimeter. And if you have a breaker bar and you have someone else do it, you can ask them to have your buddy or friend, whatever, holding the brake, and you can break that loose. So I'm just gonna first take out the Cotter Pin out. So alright, I put some PB blaster. Like, I totally forgot to tell you guys, if it's really hard to break this nut loose, just put some PB blaster, lasts it for like 5-2 minutes. If hitting the hammer doesn't work, you can grab the 17 millimeter and break it free. So with the ratchet and the pull, I just broke it free. So just do it a couple times, and then just hit it with the hammer and she will come out. Okay, when you take this off, and you can put this on the side so you can actually pull it down, so without disconnecting the tie rod ends. I need to replace that too now soon. Then you can probably pull this out. I'm just gonna pull this out in a second. Okay. So let me pull this out like that. I totally forgot my power bar, so I'm just gonna use my long screwdriver. Hopefully it doesn't break, but if it breaks, who cares? I don't care. So you pull this out. So all you need to do is separate the axle from this half axle. So just grab your pry bar or screwdriver, whatever you can do it. Just try to separate it. So I'm gonna try to do it right now. Let's see if I can get a good angle. Alright guys, I've got to put the car in neutral and try to move it. Grab the screwdriver, go between it here. Let's see. So pop out just like that. See, that's how you take it off. I'm gonna show you how it looks like up top. So that's how it looks like. So when you put the CVX on, I would highly recommend put anti-seize or grease, but I'm gonna put grease right here so it won't seize up. I've done plenty of cars that on front-wheel drive cars that they get rust up, they get very seized up, which is really hard to do. But this one is not that hard because I like my previous mistakes. So if you have a really hard time to do it, get like a pry bar and then hammering in it, try to hit it out. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you the difference between the aftermarket and the original. Alright, this is the Rock Auto one. I'm pretty sure I bought the exact same brand for the other side, but this is just a non-ABS Tiburon, so it really doesn't matter, but this side does really matter. So the big key differences between the original and the aftermarket is that I see there's like a rounded shape right here. This has like that weird shape right there, and this side right here too. You can tell the difference. It seems like this one might be, the original is probably longer than the aftermarket one. So there's the teeth. I don't know if they're spaced out differently. That's why my sensor can't read it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. See the aftermarket one and the original. So, alright guys, let's start putting this back together. And I'm gonna grab the grease. I'm gonna show you in a second. Alright, I grabbed some grease. I'm gonna put grease in here. You don't have to be too crazy with the grease, so. And there's the grease in there, and I'm just gonna spread it out on the teeth. And if you want, you can put grease on that too, so I'm gonna put that too, just, you know, it won't seize up, it won't rust up, so let's put it on. And then definitely put grease right here too, so just grease the teeth up on the CV axle. Now I'm gonna put this on. Let's start doing that right now. Alright, I'm gonna start putting it back together. You can just wiggle it. Sometimes the new ones are a pain in the ass to put on, but that's alright, just brace with it. Okay, see, now she goes in. Make sure that the clip's in. So if you want, you can try to pull it out, but it's not pulling out. You just want the snap ring to snap in. And that's pretty much it. So, let's start putting everything back together. So. Alright, I'm gonna start putting everything back on. Just put in the hole, pour it forward. Just wiggle it. Just, if it doesn't go all the way in at first, just turn it, then the teeth will go in. Just put this on, raise it up. If you want, we can get some sandpaper and sand this out. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I got an 80 grit sandpaper for the studs that go to the shock and the hub, the spindle. I mean, just clean it out. After you're done sanding it down right here, you can put a little anti-seize or grease, so it'll be a little easier to tap these out. And just put these back in. I'm gonna sand the other side, so just give me a second or two. Alright guys, I tied up everything. I put the all the bolts for the brake line, the wire speed sensor, tying all these bolts up. And now I just need to put the CVX on. So put the washer, then just grab this, the nut. I'm reusing the nut because Hyundai does not provide that, so I'm just gonna use that. I don't care. So just zip it down. Zip it down or use your whatever tools you got. All right. Just make sure these holes will line up to that, and then you put the cotter pin. So I'm just gonna zip it down like that. So I'll grab the cotter pin. Alright guys, gear fluid is gonna come out. I'm gonna put something underneath that right now. Alright, so the gear oil is coming out, so let's see. Pull it out. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So I'll put the description down below. You can use Redline oil MT85. I'm probably gonna start using AMSOIL and see if that actually works better or not. So just pull it out. Alright, this is the new one from that brand. I don't really know, but whatever. So pretty much the same thing, but this one I really don't care because it doesn't have ABS. So I'm just gonna put everything back on. If you guys don't know how to put gear oil, or you can drain the gear oil, this bolt right here, it's a 24mm to drain it, and to take out this bolt right here too. I think it's a 19 or 18 or 17. You just add gear oil right through here till it comes out, but you gotta make sure your car is in the level surface, so you can just add gear oil. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do the same thing as the other side. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice day, drive safe, and stay dirty. Let me know what kind of videos on the Tiburon you want me to do now. Okay, my bad guys. Put everything back together. I'm gonna tell you what tools you should really need. You need some pry bars or a screwdriver, some grease for don't let this shit seize on you, or don't let it seize on you. You need some ratchets. You don't have to have snap-on, just whatever ratchets you guys can get. A 21mm socket to take out the lug nuts. Cotter Pin. You need a 10mm, a 13mm, a 17mm, 19mm sockets, or 32 socket, your axles, some pliers, and side cutters, a 17mm to wrench it, a wrench, a hammer, a breaker bar, and I use a electric wireless electric impact, and a jack stand, and a cat. So I mean, not cat. I mean, a jack. That's pretty much it. What you guys need to have to do this job. It's not that hard. Anybody can do it, so I can trust you guys can do it. So just let me know what you guys want me to do on the Tiburons, and thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Alright guys, basically the same thing from the other side. You know, take out the bolts, blah blah. And so we're just gonna grab the pry bar and bust that out. Same thing. So I'm doing that right now. Alright guys, I just put some grease on these, so just put them back. It's supposed to go, the bolt head needs to go towards the rear of the vehicle. That's how I took them off, so I don't know if that's the right way to do it. So yeah, just put everything back together, reverse. So I'll put everything back on, and I'm going to show you how to put the axle nut on. Alright, I took it apart. I totally forgot to disconnect the 10mm here for the speed sensor, so it won't have a lot of tension to it. And this 12mm bolt that holds the brake line, so yeah, disconnect that. I totally forgot about that, so you take those off right now. So let's do that. Alright, when you remove the Cotter Pin, you can throw these out. If you don't have a lot of money and you're in a budget, you can try to reuse these, but they're pretty cheap. You can go on any auto parts store, or if you buy the axles, they might have a brand new one, but with the Hyundai, they didn't come with anything, so I'm gonna be reusing the nut. You're gonna reuse this the washer. So I'm gonna start taking this thing out. So see if I can do it with one hand. Just like that. If you want to put this in order, so I'll just put the nut here, grab the washer here, so it'll be easier to put everything. So I put grease in this, so it's pretty easy to push in, because I messed up my original axle, and ever since I did the clutch job. So if yours is not this easy, the best way is put the nut back on, like so, just like a little bit like that, and then hit it with the hammer. But if you have tools, you can use the air hammer and hit it like that. So little tip right there. So mine was easy because I learned my lesson the first time, so I put grease in it, so it's pretty easy to do. So next is grab a 17mm wrench, put on the outside right here, and grab a ratchet. I think this is a 20. Let's see if I remember right. No, 19mm. So start breaking these loose, these two. So and that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. Alright guys, these are a little too hard. It's because I use an air gun. So I basically took out this part and to give it more leverage. So use your tools. If you don't have a lot of good tools, just think of something and help you out. So yeah. Oh, after you loosen these and these don't come out, just grab your hammer. Just grab your hammer, just tap it. If it doesn't work, just grab some PB blaster and start blasting these let them soak for a while.